Loro non devono vedere questo, vedono questo qui e posso mettere dove vuoi. Diciamo che è discorso. Blocca questo, devi usare questo. Per quello che dico che se vuoi io te lo dico. No, va bene così. Test. Test.
Poi trovavamo una posizione migliore. Anche lui volevo vedere lì da rimanere un po' sotto, veniva proprio a fare proprio le mani. Te lo dico influenzo nostro che ho detto la regia, grazie. Io sono qua. Perché se guadagno da una parte non si può più dall'altra.
Luca qui.
quello di là?
Sì, adesso lo dico.
Giacomo.
Sexy boy, io ci sto. E domani non lavoro qui.
Tu lo sai che io devo stare qui.
Sì, sì, no, ma tu non sei un problema.
A uno cambia batteria. On the left side and
Just make sure you know the athletes don't have so much space, so when you go on the other side.
yeah, no, I go when they finish to start. So io non posso fare un praticato, non dico. Allora, mi posso più comodo, Allora, vai io di là, faccio vedere cosa devo fare. Io seguo, devo andare qua, devo andare qua, devo andare qua, devo andare qua. Lo vorrei vedere. Puoi alzarla, puoi chiudere un po' le gambe? Spostare la camera di là, di la strada, di là. Solo in qua? Penso sbollare.
Beh, ora iniziamo in bolla dopo, dai.
la bolla. Cambio la batteria per una cosa. Sì, dai, quello che sia. È che l'unica punta nostra che non riesce a fine il controllo. No, esatto. Però sono gli unici 10 gradi che non fai, perché gli altri li fai. Non riescono a fare bolla, la fai lavorare sembra apposta anche di bolla, ma non guardare il cavallo, guardare la testa.
Well, very good morning if you're just tuning in. It's day one of the Junior World Championships out here in the stunning valley of Schilpario, central northern Italy. First day of the Junior World Championships is the Junior Women Sprint coming up in about 9 minutes time. The qualification rounds for that first, with the Junior Men following on a little later on. We are just getting things ready for the start of the qualification rounds.
L'ha regalato Carmelo, l'ha regalato il presidente. Ascolta, il viewfinder lo spengo dopo o lo lascio acceso?
Well, very good morning and welcome to Schilpario in central northern Italy. My name's Ian Woods. I'm going to be with you all week as we work our way through this packed programme here in Italy. The Junior World Championships, well, that's the shorthand phrase for this event. Of course, it's two categories: the juniors, which are the under 20 best athletes from across the globe who've gathered here in Italy, and of course the under 23. Quite a gap between the youngest juniors and the oldest under 23-year-olds, hence the two categories. Well, we're not far off from the start of the women's junior qualification round in the first of the events here in Schilpario this morning. It's the sprint qualifications 1.3 kilometers. Just checking my list. We have 74 starters in the junior women's category and 99 young men under 20 hoping to qualify for the 30 places that are available to go through to the quarterfinals. About 5 minutes to go before we will see the first of the athletes getting away. 15-second intervals and 1.3 kilometers of hard graft to ski. The time trial format for the qualification rounds. The best 30 going through to the heats.
Qualifiche partiranno tra 5 minuti. Ovviamente vi invitiamo ad avvicinarvi alla zona di partenza dove dovete ritirare il vostro transponder e il vostro chip, che sarà ovviamente necessario.
Well, blue skies are exactly what we asked for. Conditions just about perfect out here. All smiles from everyone involved. We're about 100 miles northeast of Milan, if you can start to picture that, and only about 10 miles south of the Swiss border, actually. We carried on going directly north across the border. You would pretty soon enter the region of St. Moritz and the Engadin Valley, where the FIS Cross Country World Cup Senior Tour was just a couple of weeks ago for the 7th stage of the World Cup up there. 1 or 2 athletes competing here. Some of the Brits coming through. Nice to see. All the best, guys, for today. There are 29 nations participating in the women's field. 36 different nations in the men's field later on. Air temperature absolutely perfect. If it hovers just below 0, despite the sun coming and cheering up the atmosphere, the snow will stay perfect throughout the day. We'll keep an eye on that. It's classic for the next 4 days, which means the waxing, well, the conditions warming up does tend to cause these teams here, the technicians, a little bit more of a headache as they prepare. But no one complaining if the sun comes out today. Here's a quick look down the start list. Sammy Smith of the USA, already a veteran of a number of Junior World Championships competitions. We'll get us started at 10 o'clock. And as I say, we have a full list of 74 starters. Watching back in the UK, you'll see Elspeth Cruikshank and Elke Hammerstein are racing, as well as Sophie Forth going off just a few places from last. Sophie in bib number 66. 74 to go. No indication of anyone pulling out at this stage. Warm-ups are pretty much completed. We have 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes to go, and we'll start having a look at what has happened in the last 12 months as all of these younger athletes have had an opportunity at their early stage of their career to develop their skills and prepare for the biggest field in their class. Here's Sam Smith of the USA. I think she probably has 30 seconds to go now. Okay, the countdown caught me out there, so I think it might be another 30 seconds before Sam gets away. Wearing bib number 1 and that well-known USA cross-country ski team suit. Sam second last year in the sprints. Of course, back then it was freestyle. It's classic this week as it alternates every year. Looking to go one better, Sam Smith. 28 World Cup starts already, despite the fact that Sam's only 19 years of age. Last year, I suspect, of being able to compete at this level. Next is Malin Holsveen, gets away, bib number 2. Qualified 22nd. The only World Cup start that she's had so far. Alison Mackey of Canada from Edmonton trains with the Alberta World Cup Academy in Canmore. Next is Ella Harpaleto of Finland, Finnish junior sprint champion, wearing bib number 4. She is also the sprint junior champion in the 20K, so a good all-rounder. Next is Lara Gruber of Switzerland, 2 times Olympic youth medalist in the sprint and the relays in Gangwon 12 months ago. Nina Mikkelsen of Sweden, the first of the Swins, just 18 years old. Won the sprint in Bergforsen 2 weeks ago. Just squeezed out by Hannah Stenmark in an exciting finish. Margot Trille of France comes from Le Cluse. Best result this year. They have been in the distance races. We'll see how she gets on with the sprint classics. Annie Buchmann of Germany from Neudorf made a podium 2 years ago in Oberwiesenthal. See whether she's still got that kind of form today. Elsa Tanglander of Switzerland, of course. Sweden, of course, sorry. Youth Olympic champion in Gangwon 12 months ago. That was in the sprint free. Lila Andresen of Norway gets away next. 1.3 kilometers to go. Here's Gerda Kivil of Estonia, sprint junior champion in the freestyle and in the 10-kilometer classic. Still only 17, Estonia sprint junior champion. So we'll get a shot of the course in a little while. We'll start to see some of the athletes as they come round into the finish. 14, Sophia Pedersen, another one of the young proteges developing her skills as a classic skier and sprinter. The Swedes dominating. Certainly considered the best in the world in the women's field in the sprinting categories, classic or freestyle. Sweden somehow managing to do something very special. And here we have the first of our finishers. That's Alison Mackey. She's not first, actually, the first one we've seen. Alison Mackey of Canada, 5 seconds down on Holsveen of Norway, bib number 2, who come in 3 minutes and 7 seconds. Apaleto, bib number 4, goes behind Alison Mackey, 7:88. So a couple of seconds down on Mackey. Here comes number 5. This is Lara Gruber, and Mackey stays in 3rd. Holsveen at the moment stays in 1st, and Sam Smith just 4 seconds down on Holsveen as we stand in the finish. Mina Mikkelsen, bib number 6. Surprised, actually, nearly 10 seconds down on the Norwegian. Beatrice Laurent gets away and just over the fence to her right. She's already observing some of the finishers coming in. She'll be aware it's around about 3 minutes 5 seconds for a good time. Here's Buchmann of Germany. This is going to be some way off the pace of Holsveen. 16 seconds down. Remember, only the top 30 will qualify and go through. Get the chance to select their heat groups. A little while. Tenglander of Sweden, again, over 10 seconds outside of the best time of Valin Holsveen. So a brilliant result. Sam Smith in second, Alison Mackie currently sitting in third. Andresen of Norway pushes Sam Smith down into third place with a time just less than half a second slower than teammate Holsveen. Get a little look at the course now. It's obviously relatively flat here, just in the stadium, but don't be misled. There's a lot of work to do on this course as they hammer their way up back towards the start. We're getting some splits here from the halfway point. I'm just going to have a look on my screen, see what's appearing here. No one challenging Holsveen's time at the moment at the halfway mark. Laurent of France, 6 seconds down. That's going to put her currently in around about 5th or 6th place if she maintains that pace. The conditions just about excellent out here. No ice, but not slow, heavy, deep snow. Hagen of Canada comes in 19 seconds down and currently goes into 15th place with 15 finishers. Here comes bib number 24. Switch to 17. 17 is Tumova of Czechia. 16 seconds down, so fairly big margins between the best and the slowest finishers at the moment. 17 is Tumova. It is 19 Italian Folly, 10 seconds down. That puts Folly into 10th place, so 10 seconds separating first and 10th. Next to get away from the USA. Number 34. Goes Liv Gerard. Who is this coming through and into the finish now? That's bib number 23 is Coupart of France. This is not a bad time. Hard to judge the distance here. Goes into the top 10 just about in 9th place. Pavlenko of Ukraine gets away 25th to finish. Drivers of Norway, well, that's a stunning time from drivers. Goes ahead 2 seconds up on Holsveen, and Sam Smith now pushed out of the top 3 into 4th. Kempi of Finland coming through. Familiar name. Number of Kempi athletes from Finland over the years. Here's bib number 40, Drevlo of the USA. Good that we're able to switch backwards and forwards from the start list across the fence to the finishing straight. Bachmann of Italy goes into 11th place, I think it was. Here's Bradford of Canada. From Whitehorse in Yukon. Purinen, Finland. Many of you will remember Paavo Purinen. Pretty sure it's a family relation. And Purinen goes into a top 10 slot in 7th place. Bib number 44, Selmanova of Kazakhstan. We're over halfway now through the starters. Daskova of Czechia down into 30th place. Should be disappointed with that, Daskova. Patois of France goes into 17th, so 33 to finish, and she's in 17th place. Only the top 30, remember, will go through, so somewhere in the middle of the field at this stage or better is a good sign. Next to finish, Niamh Gerard of the USA, outside of qualification in 33rd. Mikhail of Ukraine gets away and over the fence. Here's Schwitzer of Italy. This is, let's see, 18 seconds to that barrier, so a couple of seconds after we went past that banner gives us a sense of how they're doing, as we can't see the whole of the home straight. 43, Garak of Croatia, having to break into that herringbone just to get over that little rise. A little further back, 45, Ingelfinger of the USA. 38 is Neuville of France. Qualifies at the moment, but with at least half the field yet to finish. She will have to stick around and see. We see number 45, Ingelfinger of the USA, goes past Suleymanova of Kazakhstan. 39, Chazayeva of Kazakhstan. This is not going to be good enough. Goes into 37th slot at the moment and will therefore progress no further today. Good to get a little look at the rest of the course. This is down at the furthest end, and they come back across the river, start making their way up towards the finish. Last few hundred meters to go. This is where the action will really happen later on. Coming across that bridge is the last bend, and it's a hard drive into the finish. So Bradford of Canada, not looking like she's going to progress any further today. Goes into 39th place, 28 seconds down on the current leader, which is Drivenes of Norway. Norway in the top 4 places, actually. Boy, have they sent a strong women's junior sprint team down here to Italy. Garak of Croatia, also well outside of the best time. Drivenes then of Norway is currently in first place. Holsveen of Norway in second, 2 seconds down. Andreasen, the early leader, in third, just over nearly 2.5 seconds down. Then Hansen of Norway in fourth. Sam Smith hanging on to fifth place for the USA. Well, we would expect now the later starters to struggle to qualify, as there is effectively a seeding order in the start list. The best going off earlier on. That said, Drivenes of Norway didn't get away until bib number 25, Hansen 29. Holsveen, though, bib number 2, Sam Smith in 5th, bib number 1. Mackie of Canada, still in the top 6. 63, Matsuzawa of Japan. Here comes 49 and 50. So 50, Wantelok of Poland, Laura Wantelok. She's going to go ahead of 49 obviously, but still not good enough to secure a qualification slot.
42nd position for her with number 50, and after the British, we are following the start next athlete.
Getting a view here of Elspeth Cruikshank of the USA. She's made up time on 58, which is the Lithuanian athlete. We can see that she's going pretty well, Elspeth, but I don't have a time on Elspeth at the moment.
7 athletes to go. 2 Brazilians now at the start. There is Natasha Lima, number 68. 69 with another Brazilian, Julia Reis. Then we've got the Japanese, number 17, Monomi.
There goes 68, representing Brazil. I'm going to struggle to pronounce this, but Natasha is her first name. Let's stick with that. Here comes Natasha, and she will be chased out by teammate Julia Reis of Brazil, 30 seconds behind her. Step around and up the hill. One of the few areas where you can skate around the corner, but not looking like Natasha is going to take the risk there. You do get disqualified in a classic race if you skate in any of the sections where it is not allowed. Obviously, getting around a corner, it's a natural thing to do, is to use the skis to effectively skate round. It's sort of a step turn, and both skis are still moving, so it translates into a type of skating. But there are clear zones on this course where you can do that, and lots of places where you definitely can't, and it's frowned upon, and a penalty will be presented to you. Natasha, yeah, we see a huge variation in ability between some of these lowland nations like Brazil and the best in the world. And right now, judging by the results list for today's qualification, the best in the world this morning are clearly from Norway and the USA, with Canada not far off the pace from Alison Mackie. Going to stay with Natasha. She comes up this tricky little herringbone section. There's confirmation currently of the results. 4 Norwegians in the top 4 places. Sam Smith in 5th. Alison Mackie in 6th. Olivia Purinen of Finland currently in 7th. First of the Italians, Beatrice Laurent in 8th. Sofia Pedersen of Sweden, the only Swede in the top 10. That's a surprise. in 9th, and then Margot Trilloy of France in 10th. Elspeth Cruikshank has finished and come across the line 33.96 down, and as a result will not progress, sadly, into the quarterfinals later on. And of course, given the relatively obvious lack of experience that we're seeing from Natasha here, it's fair to say she's not going to qualify either. Quite something if one of the Brazilian athletes was good enough to qualify. Sophie Forth of the UK of Great Britain has also now finished. She's down in 61st place. So like Elspeth, good run out this morning, an opportunity to test the lungs at this altitude up here in Schilpario, and will start to turn her attention to the races later on in the week. Here we go. This is the final bend before the home straight. Positioning here later on when it comes to the head-to-head races will be very significant, and then the early heats being watched by everyone, as it's a relatively new course. Few people will know it. Perhaps the Italians will have been racing around here practicing recently. Everyone else, unless they arrived earlier on in the week, this is a new venue, and how you take that final corner coming into this long home straight in front of the crowd here, likely to determine the outcome and the podium places. The 3 medals that are up for grabs in every one of the races this week. Well, everyone has started today. This is Kogia of Greece working her way around the course. At least it gives us an opportunity to see one of the few places on the course today where you get a mini break of sorts, an opportunity to just ease off a little. The fact that it is classic skiing today means those downhills are not a section that you can free skate on and continue to accelerate. You're either double poling hard or tucking in behind one of the other lead athletes later on as we go head to head. So coming up shortly, once all of the qualification athletes have had an opportunity on this course, coming up shortly, we'll find out who is going to go into what groups for the quarterfinals. There will be 5 quarterfinals of 6 athletes going through those start gates that we can see right in front of us now. And head to head around this course, with the first 2 in each quarterfinal qualifying by rights, and then the quickest 2 out of all 5 quarterfinal heats that didn't qualify by rights had the fastest 2 times outside of those 2 first finisher slots. The 2 lucky losers, as we call them, will also go through to the semi-finals. So Driveness of Norway, 3 minutes faster than the Greek young athlete. Shows you the quality of athletes at the top of the results page, skiing this course in half the time of some of those a little further back. So, Norway in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Drivens, Holsveen, Andersen, and Hansen. Sam Smith, once again, qualifying relatively easy, as does Alison Mackey of Canada. A little further down, Haapaleto of Finland, just inside 10 seconds. Romina Bachmann of Italy, just outside 10 seconds. Marit Folly of Italy, local girl to qualify in 18th place, as does Schwitzer in 23rd. Tomova, Lucy Tomova of Czechia, 18 seconds down on the best Norwegian, takes that 30th place. And Lapointe of Canada, likewise, had to hold her breath as we watched the 70 odd athletes who had to be given an opportunity to qualify before we now move on to selecting heats for the quarterfinals. Elsbeth Cruikshank down there in 49th place. And 64th for Sophie Forth. Sophie Forth in 64th. Elke Hammerstein of Great Britain opting out this morning. See if we can find out what the issue was there and whether it's just a concern about form, more likely just fending off perhaps the remnants of a little sniffle that she may have had. Always worth playing it safe. Well, that concludes the qualification sprints. Andreasen, though, of Norway, set an early pace for qualification, looking strong as she finished, went ahead of Holsveen early on, but Holsveen saving something for the last 100 meters or so, managed to pull ahead, just less than half a second ahead of Andreasen. But the quickest today from Norway, 3 Norwegians in the top 3 places. Iselin Drivenes of Norway, bib number 25. The Norwegians dominant in the under 20 category, it would appear, so far. Well, the men's race is coming up shortly. Before we get to that, we'll hopefully see the selection criteria being worked out for the quarterfinal heats, where the athletes themselves get to choose which of the heats they go in. The first 11 places selected in reverse order. So 11th goes first, then 10th, then 9th, and 12th place then, once the quickest Drivenes has selected hers, then 12th place, 13th, and so on, down to bib number, or race number 30. As we will see them later on, the bib numbers will indicate what position they finished qualification in. So, of course, Drivenes will be wearing bib number 1, and down in 30th place with bib number 30 will be Lucy Tomova of Czechia.
E Beatrice Lorana con il numero 20 sta per prendere via, parte in questo momento. Et après c'est le moment de la Canadienne Costa.
Well, we're just having a quick look back at the qualification rounds for the women's under 20 sprint finals today. This is bib number 20, Beatrice Laurent of Italy, who qualified in 8th place, 9 seconds down on the quickest. The men now preparing for their start, coming up very shortly. I think we have about 15 minutes before the men get away. And in the meantime, the junior women will be preparing for the quarterfinals by selecting their groups.
otherwise you eat through. South road, you know. But
grandissime occasioni, ma qui vicino a noi c'è uno degli eventi più importanti di questa valle, uno dei più grandi tifosi, il più grande maestro che io avrei voluto tutte le mattine a scuola, ma disgraziatamente non ho avuto momento di dire.
So just a moment, we've got the communication for all the athletes. Please go to the starting area in order to pick up your transponders because it's almost time for your start at 10:45 the first athlete. So I repeat, for all the athletes, go straight to pick up your transponder before your start. Scusa perché ti ho rotto, diciamo agli atleti di andare a prendere il chip in transponder prima della partenza, ma so che c'è una presentazione importante da fare.
Dove stai?
E non, ma qua guarda nel regno di Schilpario qua che è il regno di Fabio Mai, ricordiamo, anzi vorrei ricordare a questo punto, così prendete nota, che Fabio Mai è l'unico italiano, speriamo che anche per il primo sia giunto anche lui perché a lui manca solo una gara, è l'unico italiano ad aver vinto.
Good morning, welcome if you're just joining us here in Schilpario. It's the second round of qualification for the junior men, the under 20 category. We've already concluded the women's junior under 20 category qualification. Finished about 15 minutes ago or so. Next, it's the men, 99 starters in total. About 5 minutes to go before the first of those will get away from Sweden, Jonathan Lindberg, to the USA athletes just concluding their warm-up, staying warm. The sun will slowly make its way onto these tracks and hopefully conditions will continue to stay just about perfect here in Schilpario. We are about, about 100 miles northeast of Milan. And if you head north from here, about 10 miles further north, you hit the Swiss border. Keep going and you'll eventually arrive in the beautiful town of St. Moritz in the Engadin Valley, where we saw the 7th round of the World Cup cross-country tour just 2 weeks ago in Engadin. Equally challenging altitude up here in Schilpario. So many of these competitors over this week will have spent time training and preparing to cope with and hopefully benefit from the conditions here.
già il casco e il
Just
segno
about 3 minutes to go
e questo era il
before we get started. A couple of Brits racing in this race today. Thomas Duncan goes off in bib number 80. 84 is Ewan McAdam from Fife. And they will be getting away around about 4 or 5 minutes after the hour. It will take us a while to get all 99 athletes through the qualification stage of this race. See a lot of the course here, out, and then it bends round and right, weaves its way down across the river. No major hills to speak of, but nevertheless a tough course. Long finish into that final bend, the home straight, where we will see the head-to-head action later on. First to go then will be from Sweden, Jonathan Lindberg. Clock just indicating that the time is now running. He'll know where his slot is, either 30 seconds or 60 seconds from now. Lindberg, 19-year-old, central Sweden, comes from Mora. Some of you will know that that's the venue of the famous World Loppet Marathon, the Vasaloppet, probably one of the biggest in the world. Jonathan was third in this event in Planica this time last year, the Junior World Championships. Of course, back then it was skating, and had his first World Cup start for Sweden back in March last year, towards the end of the World Cup series, and in not the hometown for him, but on home snow in Falun, where the World Cup tour will go to in about 10 days' time or so. So one or two of the athletes racing today will have the privilege of being selected for that. Now, 30 seconds to go. Starts his watch and heart rate monitor. So the quickest of the women earlier on in this classic sprint qualification, just over 3 minutes, expected to be more like 2:45, I expect, for the men. Next to go will be Isai Neff of Switzerland, silver last year in Planica. That was in the 10-kilometer classic. National junior champion from Switzerland in the 10-kilometer classic technique. Next will go Erik Bergstrom of Sweden. Won the junior sprints in the Scandinavian Cup 3 weeks ago in Falun, that was, and fastest qualifier that day. USA, Murphy Kimball will go off in bib number 4, next to start. We may see him, or are we going to stay with Lindberg? Good if we do, just to get a look at the course. Well, we missed Murphy Kimball. Lars Heggen of Norway, reigning junior world champion. That's why the camera has come back. Won in Planica last year. That was freestyle classic this year. I am sure he will be one of the contenders today. Philip Skari of Norway in bib number 6. 4 wins already this year, Norway including the Scandinavian Cup Championships in Lillehammer in December, which followed the World Cup. Shortly after the World Cup series left those tracks in Lillehammer. And, let's see who is next. It's bib number 8 going for Canada. Just failed to qualify. That's Finn Redmond, sorry. I was distracted slightly there.
Time for Estonian with wave number 9, Ralph Kivin.
Redmond failed to qualify this time last year. This is Ralph Cavill's sister's also racing. We saw her earlier. I can't remember if she qualified actually. We'll find out. From Canada, Justin Baudreau in bib number 10. Best race this year was 9th when he qualified in the North American Cup in Thunder Bay. Eddie Pedersen of Sweden gets away. Won in Bergsforsen 2 weeks ago. That's just near Östersund, sort of east of Östersund. Let's see, we'll get one or two coming into the finish now. The first of those, well, Lindberg is already in time of 2:45. Here comes Naif of Switzerland, goes ahead, 1 second up. He'll be pleased by that, of course. Naif at the halfway point, down in 4th actually. This man was ahead of him. Bergström has the quickest time through that halfway point of the top 10 or so that have come through there. So it's looking good for Bergström of Sweden. So he's in 2:43. Naif of Switzerland currently in 2nd. As we see, bib number 5, Hagen, is going to go ahead of Naif, I think, will be just up on the Swiss athletes. Actually, what a finish that was from Hagen of Norway, the reigning junior world champion. Skari of Norway pushes him down another second, over a second ahead of Hagen. Has the benefit of all the splits on the course. Will be getting feedback from the coaches. It's very tight at the top.
Uomini Finlandia. Tutto venuto una volta di Henrik Thorberg, che è un atleta di nazionalità norvegese. Questa partita riguarda Finland Redman. Tempo alto per Redman.
Here comes Redmond of Canada. Going to be outside the time. Struggling a little. Goes ahead of the Spaniard, but down in 7th place at the moment. 10 seconds down. That's possibly still going to be good enough to qualify. 16 is Borgesson of Sweden. Looking strong, dynamic, powerful over that little rise. Not far behind him is Helmish of Czechia. Hard to tell from the gap with the foreshortening effect of the camera. As we zip back to the finish, Pedersen of Sweden comes across the line 8 seconds down on Skari. Currently the quickest time, a second or so ahead of last year's champion Lars Heggen of Norway. 23.
And here we are, there is also the
Pakalen of Finland next to go. Hasenkopf of Germany will get away. Here's the Chechen athlete. We are just waiting. Cameras have picked up on, who is it? Actually, let's go back to the finish now. This is bib number 14, Sarapuu of Estonia. Well, not a bad time. So Sarapuu, 12 seconds down. I think 30th place. I'm expecting to be inside 12 seconds. Here comes Björnsson of Sweden. He's not going to go first. He's going to end up in maybe top 6, just inside, 4 seconds down on Skari. And just behind Lindberg, teammate. Here's 17, Helmish of Czechia. Let's see the time. Goes into 7th, pushes Kimball down into 8th for now. 5-second margin between the Chechen athlete and the best Norwegian.
seconds behind.
99 athletes to finish today. Hopefully, if they finish. Here's Bromberg of Norway. Again, easily inside the top 10. 3 just outside, 4 seconds slower than teammate Scari. Pozzi of Italy. I think Pozzi, one of the athletes who's been racing on the World Cup. Lindsberg of Austria. We haven't mentioned the Austrians yet. Going to be tight to qualify. So as it stands, we have in the finish, we've got 21 finishing, top 10, inside 7 seconds just. Margin yet to be defined for the top 20. Here comes 27 Harbo of Norway. Halfway point. He was 2 seconds down on Bergstrom, who lost time to the best Norwegians on the second half of this course. 30 is Federica Pozzi, who's doing well, just a second or so outside the best Norwegians at the halfway point. Spring of Australia, 8 seconds down, 13th place. Well, that might well be good enough today. I suspect it will. Bib number 25 across the line. Best 40 going off first. Kuch of Italy, 16th place. Again, that is looking reasonably comfortable inside. Now then, here comes 27 representing Norway. Harbo comes across the line inside the top 10. Good 6 seconds down on Scari.
Two Polish guys with number 39 and 40.
David Pilch of
and number 40
Poland gets away in that red Polish suit. 29 now, heading in towards the finish. From Spain, this is good actually. He's going to qualify 7:45. That's a really good result. 13th place for Pablo.
And there's also Spain, España with Pablo Moreno Ramos, 13th position for the Spanish.
We're approaching the halfway mark for the men, another 5 minutes or so. Here's Pozzi, this is looking strong. Well, he lost time in the second half of that course. Powered his way around the first part, but we'll have to wait and see now. Pozzi down in 29th place. My guess is that isn't going to be good enough despite that dynamic finish. Let's see, who else do we have featuring at the halfway point. As we see Bianchi of Italy coming out of the start. So later starters who look like they may well qualify. Well, Matley of Italy will easily. He gets in just under 6 seconds, goes into 10th place. Matley, brilliant finish there, was 20th at the halfway stage, so really paced that well.
Slovenian Bor Petrovic, bit number 46. Gabriele Matley at the finish line, top 10 for him, 10th position, 6.55 seconds behind.
42 is the Slovenian Karnica. Gap closing. 43, I think, dropping back. Nikolin of the Ukraine. I don't think that is looking too good for him. I'm just allowing myself to be slightly distracted at the moment. 38. 38 comes across the line in 18th. The Finn takes 18th place.
Although this was lady passing at number 38, 18.
Another Finn to start. Kahara.
Virtually qualified finish with a gap of 8.21 seconds.
Another Kahara racing on the World Cup circuit. Doing well, actually, and possibly a family member. I can't remember. But she is often in the sprints and paired with Yasmi Yönsu just before Christmas in Davos for the first of the team sprint races this year. Finland won in the second one just a couple of days ago, actually, on Friday, out in also in Italy, World Cup round 8. This is the last bend. They come down along the home straight near the crowd here, swing left around slightly uphill around this bend, and then chase one another down the side of the building here as we see bib number 42 cross the line and
Il traguardo in 34esima posizione, era partito molto veloce.
42 ended up in 18th place, so a good finish for him. Bianchi of Italy. Missed the time there, actually. Where did Bianchi finish?
Niccolo Giovanni Bianchi, 37th position for the Italian.
37th, there you go. 37th for Bianchi, 13 seconds down. So currently the 30th place, yeah, as we guessed, around about 12 seconds. So inside that, and you may well qualify, as Petrovic does. Next it's Pakalen of Finland, who will have to just bite his nails for a few seconds. Finn Redman in 27th place for Canada. The Spaniard Kalel Pantrebi
that has come to the finish line
is
at this moment.
in 28th. Petrovic 29th for Czechia, and Finland's Pakalin in 30th. Ligurski just missing out. Goes over the line, bib number 48 in 31st place. Gap, the time back to 49. Not looking encouraging. He finishes in 40th place. Kahara, good result for the Finn. Kahara goes into 7th. Best of the Finns across the line today. It's 471 behind Skari, who will now be the quickest across the line. That's reasonably safe to say. Here comes 52. Two is Canton Bigua of France, goes into the 23rd position and is reasonably safe. So the Spaniard sadly pushed out of qualifying, and now it's Finn Redman of Canada, who is sitting in 29th place. It's, let's see, 53. Moreau, I missed his, not good enough, 21 seconds down. 61 for Poland. Staccioni. The tempo not looking quick enough to be able to match, certainly not match the best. We don't have a time on him, 61. And I look back at the split times, but I think Some of these later starters now, the one or two exceptions, are going to struggle. Muratbekov of Kazakhstan does his best. It's going to be well outside, 17 seconds down. Still sitting on, we're still sitting on a time of now 10:60 for qualification. 10 seconds inside. 10 seconds slower than Skari, and you may still qualify. Can't quite make out the bib number of this next athlete coming through. Suspect it's 66. Here comes bib number 60. Adamov will have to hang his skis up for the day. 67 now of Czechia. And not getting many indications of late starters looking like they may well qualify. The 61 was the Icelandic athlete, Staccioni. Actually, it was the Polish athlete, forgive me. Someone had a problem? No, they've finished. They've already concluded their race this morning. So, quick check back over the standings. In first place, first two places are both Norwegian. Lars Hagen in second, last year's champion wearing bib number 5. In bib 6, Philip Skari. Again, the highest seeded athletes coming through quickest is in first place. First of the Swedes, Erik Bergström, is in third place, having set off in bib number 3. Isai Neif of Switzerland is in fourth. Elin Bromberg of Norway 5th. Another Swedish athlete in 6th, Jonathan Lindberg. Kahara of Finland in 7th. Björgesson of Sweden in 8th. Helmish of Czechia. Good result for Helmish to come in 5 seconds down, and Harbo in 10th place at the moment, also representing Norway. So 4 Norwegians in the top 10, 2 Swedes, 3 Swedes actually.
So we have some women from Belgium, 64th position for him after the qualification in 3 minutes and 9 seconds. But 33rd position for the Japanese, what a good performance by the Japanese, Rio Mori.
Very close to the time of 2 minutes and 51 seconds. That is the last one possible available in order to be able to have the possibility to qualify. 71 now to the finish. That is the number of Simon Cavell from La France. With a gap of 50 seconds, 46th position for him.
Not long before the 2 Brits get started. They've actually already got away. Let's have a quick look. Yes, they have. So, Thomas Duncan is out there. Started 2 minutes ago, so we'll see him coming through very soon. And Ewan McAdam of the UK. There's Thomas Duncan. We just caught sight of him there. Bib number 80. And, looks like we may spend a little bit of time with Xavier Dos Santos of, here's why, Bulgaria. First fall, Brazil I should say, first fall of the day, sadly, this young man. Just 19 years old.
Like it was for the ladies. The two athletes coming three in this momentary finish line. 74.
That fall costing him probably a good 15 seconds.
And there's also Iceland with latest party.
Here comes another Santos, similar name. Gabriel Cesar Santos in bib number 82. Let's see what we can find out about Gabriel. I'll have a quick look on his profile and let you know what I find out about him. Unfortunately, my stats letting me down. Nothing coming up at the moment. So, any later starters inside the top 30? Who is this? Certainly representing Great Britain, flying down that fastest section of today's course. This is Xavier dos Santos of Brazil, 119 down, looking like it cost him something out there. 83. Zolos of Hungary just started ahead of Ewan McAdam. Cholikov goes into 78th position. He's number 95. 4 more to go. Sensei from Japan, powerful start. Watch him later on. The FIS points could indicate that they don't allow him to start early. Maybe he hasn't just competed so often this year, but an impressive start from the Japanese athlete. Fujiwara it was. Here comes Great Britain's. This is Ewan McAdam from Fife. Started 82, goes into 77th position. 2 more to go. Mashmov of Bulgaria. And then the last to start will be Dino Belovac of Moldova, starting 11:09 and 30 seconds. So that's pretty much everyone out now, out on course. Let's see if we can find out where. Let's see if we can find out where Thomas Duncan finished. Have a quick look back at the live results, and it's not on the top page at the moment, but Duncan, where are you? Ewan McAdam is in 77th. Thomas Duncan down in 70th place. So neither of the Brits, sadly, are going to go through to qualify for the quarterfinals. All the later starters now making their way. 1 or 2 still to cross the river. 2 minutes 45 roughly to about 3:15 of flat out effort. Somewhere between a 800 meters and a 1,000 meter run, if you can picture that. 2.5 times, nearly 3 times around an 800 meter running track in terms of time and effort. For someone who's reasonably talented, plenty of time to build up significant amounts of lactic acid in the blood, which well, it hurts and it makes it harder to move the muscles quickly, get them to obey the messages from the brain that are insisting that you keep pressing and pressing across the line. So 99 athletes started today. only the top 30 will go through to qualify for the quarterfinals coming up a little later on.
Nikolov, 78th position for him, 38 seconds behind. So also the finish line with Vietnam 93. Konstantinos Metsios from Greece, and 91st position for him.
Let's have a look then and see who ended up just about qualifying in 30th. Well, the Spaniard seems to have hung on. We don't have everyone in yet, but I can't see anyone further down the field looking like they may qualify. So Finn Redman hangs in there in 29th. Colel Patembra of Spain in 30th. So nice one for the Spaniard. Good morning for him. One or two Spaniards appearing on the World Cup circuit. Puello of Spain, for example. Pablo Romano Ramos of Spain qualified in 15th today, just 7 seconds down on Skari. Belavac of Moldova comes in almost a minute down. Stunning run from Philip Skari of Norway. Goes into the heats as the favourite now, with Lars Heggen, last year's winner, in second. Bergstrom of Sweden in third, 2 seconds slower than Skari. 99 athletes started and finished today. The top 30 will continue as we progress through the heats throughout the day here in Schilpario. So about 45 minutes to go before the finals begin, which starts with the quarterfinals, top 30. Skari, Heggen and Bergstrom in the first three places. Nath of Switzerland in fourth. Broberg of Norway in fifth. Lindberg, one of the earliest, well, bib number one actually, in sixth. Kahara and Björnsson, seventh and eighth. Helmich of Czechia, 5 seconds down in ninth. Harbo of Norway making up the top 10. Ralph Kivil down in 24th, just inside then. Finn Redman of Canada and Mark Colel Pantrebi of Spain go through and qualify. Ben Field of Canada disappointed with his 36th place today. Justin Lucas of the USA, 13 seconds down. 56 for Frode Himme of Iceland. Zachary Maru of Canada, good 21 seconds down. Thomas Duncan there in 71. And again, like the junior girls from Great Britain, will regroup now and start looking ahead to races later on in the week. Ewan McAdam likewise in bib number 84, I think it was, not qualifying today, the man from Fife. And these are the back markers in today's junior under 20 qualification for the sprint finals coming up in about 45 minutes time. Well, that's pretty much it for now, and we'll see you in a little while as they start to go head to head around this course. The top 30 from the women's under 20 category and the top 30 from around the world in the junior men under 20 category. That coming up midday here in Schilpario as the sun works its way across into the rest of the valley. Of course, 11 o'clock UK time if you're watching back in the UK. Well, thanks for your company during the qualification rounds, and we'll see you a little later on.
We have already seen the first two athletes started, Jonathan Lindberg from Sweden, and then the Swiss Isa Neff after him.
Il numero 8 si tratta di
Bergstrom of Sweden had a good start, bib number 3. Set the early pace for the two slightly quicker Norwegians to chase. In bib number 5 was Lars Heggen of Norway, last year's junior world champion, shaved off around about a second, better than the fastest of the Swedes, but quickest today was Philip Skari of Norway. And halfway round he was a little off the pace, but paced it perfectly today to come across the line 1.16 seconds ahead of last year's junior world champion. Looking good for Philip Skari, who will be in bib number 1 when it comes to the quarterfinals in about 45 minutes time.
We have also the finish line for Maureen Jonas Egger from Switzerland.
Federico Pozzi è un contatto bene quando fanno Pitt, che è 19esimo. Federico Pozzi è 32esimo.
Ah, come sta andando? Non malissimo. No. Ma il baril... Ma com'è che si è rotto il barbettino? Pensavo di essere a posto, sì. Sì, non lo sapevano. Sì, io. Mi senti adesso? Scoperto, non c'è più. Ah, ok. Poi prova a fissare il cavo dopo che fa la curva del barilotto vecchio e solo sul radiocomando. Che notte scivolata. Dico, prova a fissare il cavo vecchio dopo che fa Ma io non sono dal microfono, non lo vedo.
per lui.